But your next guest is not convinced that naval escorts or an insurance backstop by U.S. Treasury would actually work. Let's talk about it. Joining us, Rapidan Energy Group founder Bob McNally, also a former energy advisor to President George W. Bush. You've lived through a few of these types of war situations, Bob, so we really appreciate you coming on and value your insight. Why are you skeptical of either military exports and or this potential idea for U.S. government backstops on insurance?
Yeah. Hi, Brian. So it's about timing. Look, ultimately, the United States is going to win and prevail militarily. But I've rarely seen such a timing mismatch. As you know, Brian, we saw this coming for months. We've mapped it all out. We did the deep dive. And one thing we were sure, and we talked to military experts, is that if it came to blows over the Strait of Hormuz, it would take weeks to suppress Iran's many layered, asymmetric drones, mines, missiles, fast attack boats, etc. And we will get the strait open, but it will take a lot longer than the market thinks. You know, Brian, going into this, I talked to a lot of folks. I was at IE Week in London. And when you talked about a potential war in the Gulf, they would say, you know, there's no way the United States is going to let this go on for more than a day or two. Because if you look at the Gulf War I, over in a day or two. Gulf War II, finished, day or two. I think the market is overly optimistic about how quickly we will see a resumption of Strait of Hormuz flows. That's the issue. Weeks, not hours or days.
And I know we're focused on oil a lot, but look at natural gas. Okay, Qatar, the country of Qatar. Qatar Energy is offline. Their facility was hit by either a missile or a drone or both. That is the single largest country producer of natural gas. They declared force majeure, act of God. They basically can't produce natural gas. We're selling as much as we can. It's very good, by the way, for Cheniere, Venture Global, and probably a few other stocks out there, Bob. But why then is not the oil or natural gas market responding more to what you're saying? You're a smart guy. A lot of these people are reading what you're writing, and they're still not responding.
Two reasons. Going into this, we had 7 years of boy who cried wolf. Since the Abqaiq attack in 2019, when Iran attacked Saudi Arabia, biggest open ever in Asia in crude, reversed. Russian invasion of Ukraine, reversed. Bombed Iran last June, spike, reversed. The market has gotten bored with and skeptical that geopolitical events will disrupt oil, number one. Number two, investors and traders going into this can't imagine a world in which the U.S. military will allow someone to shut down the Strait of Hormuz for more than a few hours or a few days. It's simply inconceivable. It's never been seen before. In the tanker war in the 1980s, no one was trying to shut down the strait. Iraq and Iran were letting that thing open. They were hitting ships in the Gulf, in the north. We've never seen it before, and I think folks simply don't understand Iran's capabilities and that it's not going to be over in a matter of days.
What are Iran's capabilities at this point, Bob? What do we know?
Yep. So many. So you start with drones. They have thousands and thousands of drones. Shahed drones. I've seen press reports today that the administration briefed Congress that the drones are a little bit bigger of a problem than they thought. Those drones have been used to attack ships. They have fast attack craft, thousands of small boats armed with missiles or bombs that can dart out and attack these ships. They have anti-ship cruise missiles. We are going and hunting those things. Those are easier to attack, the launchers. They also have long-range artillery, and they have mines, all kinds of mines, floating mines, nasty little rocket mines you can put on the floor. Now, look, we've been preparing to deal with this, and so we're going to see, but this is not going to be over in a couple days.
But it sounds from talking to analysts like what we're trying to do is degrade all of those weapons and munitions that you described. How far along are we in that process?
Not far along yet in terms of these types of Hormuz disrupting assets. So far, we've been going after larger missile launchers, command and control, sinking ships, like we saw today. But those are ships. Those ships don't really pose a threat to the tankers. The real threats, I think, we're going to be going after in the coming days. And that's really the most important thing going into next week. Will our attacks in the coming days, and we're just going to saturate the coast of Iran, now that we have air superiority, will that suppress those capabilities that remain largely intact that can prevent those boats from flowing? That's the bazillion-dollar question going into next week.
Here's